Hi everyone. Today I'm be demonstrating you how to use a message splitter in Mule ESB. So it's a pretty simple use case which I'm going to demonstrate, which will be splitting a message which is given as an input through HTTP, and the splitted message will be pushed onto a VM queue. So we will see what a message splitter is capable of doing. So what first I'm doing is I have already a Mule project here. So I'm creating a new Mule flow. Create new Mule flow. My splitter finish. So I have my palette ready to start assembling. So I will have my HTTP flow first of all. Right. I'm configuring my HTTP flow with port number 32. It's because already my there are applications which are running in 8081 and 8088, so I'm just giving a new different port so that it will not create any port conflict. Next, I'm just giving path as service. You can give whatever the term you want to give it as for the path. The next thing is I'm going to put a logger to identify exactly whether my flow got executed or not. So I'm just giving an inside. Simple. The next, I'll be dropping the splitter. So I have three types of splitter here. The one which I'm showcasing today is a simple splitter, which is this one. So I'm putting a splitter here. So when I'm talking about splitter is a very simple component but very powerful component when it comes to integration. We have scenarios where we need to split a single message into multiple targets, and yet we need to maintain a particular series that particular message belongs to a single group. Now, this is a very common scenario in integration world. So what I will be demonstrating here in this application is that the splitter will split the message, and I will show you what Mule is doing with that splitted message, how it is able to ensure that the splitted message belongs to one request. So here, when I'm dropping splitter, I have a staff section called message info mapping. So I'm just adding a message info mapping. I'm selecting a expression type, not a custom one. Here what I'm trying to give is message ID, which is nothing but Mule's generated ID, which I'm going to give. So I'm giving hash message dot ID. So I have an ID there. The next one is slash message. Sorry, we have hash message dot correlation ID. So we have message ID and message correlation ID given. Finish. Now there is a tab called expression which says that how or which section of my payload has to be splitted. So the message info mapping is the one which tells that okay, I have an ID. For each message I will use this ID, so that the target section can very well identify that okay, these splitted message came from one single message. So if it is a new request and you're going to fire it, then it will be a new series of ID for the set of splitted message. So we will see that right once we complete this application. So here I'm giving an XPath expression. So I'm just taking from a predefined one here. Yep, so I have an XPath which actually reads a section called employee in my payload. So we'll just see what is that structure of the message which I'm going to send. So you can see here the highlighted section here, and this is the message which I'm going to use, and the one which I'm going to iterate, or the one which I'm going to split into multiple chunks, is this one, this section here. So you can see I have given / employee, which is nothing but this particular element under the main tag employee tag. So I'm going to split only the employee section. That means I'll have employee Christian Bale, Liam Neeson, Will Ferrell as a separate messages with a single group ID, which is what we are going to expect. So this is the message which I'm going to use. Coming back to the palette. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a DOM to XML. Since this is done because I'm using XML as input. So if you are using JSON, you have to use a different transformer. If you are using some other format, we have to use the transformers accordingly. So I'm using DOM to XML, convert my payload into XML, because if I'm using directly to print, or if I'm going to use the message to be dropped into a VM directly, it will be tampered. So here I'm putting a DOM to XML, and what I'm going to do here is to put a logger. Now this is to verify what is the message that was splitted. Dot payload, and I'm interested in the correlation ID which is generated. So I'm just checking what is the correlation ID here. So I'm using hash message dot correlation ID. So I have my correlation ID also placed. Now I'm going to use a BMQ to drop the message. So I'm expecting 3 messages, which are the 3 elements under employee, to be pushed onto VM. So I'm giving a VMQ path, which is VM colon test. I'm just giving employee, copying this section. I'm creating another VM inbound to read the message from the queue which I dropped. So I'm just putting here, and I'm using a logger to print the message. So I'm using the same PMQ from where I'm dropping it, and I'm going to use the same logger message which I have given here. So I'm using the same thing so that I can understand which payload and what is the ID which is traversing through. So I pasted that one. So my application is pretty much ready. So let's try testing this application. Save the application, run as Mule application. So the application is deployed successfully. So I'm just rechecking my port number here, 8032. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just changing 8032 service. So this is the URL which we have configured. This is the XML which I shown you in my notepad earlier, and let's see what is the thing that is going to happen. So I've sent the message. Now if you come here and see the logger, what you could see here is, yep, we have the first reporting, the message is inside, and we have seen employee ID 1 Christian Bale, which is nothing but, if you go to my notepad back, I have Christian Bale here. Then I have next one, which is nothing but Liam Neeson. That's here, Liam Neeson. Then William Farrell. That's here, William Farrell. Okay, so we have three messages that's been dropped onto VMQ. The next section, what you see here, down here, this sections, the three things, is nothing but the message which are read from the VMQ. Now here also you can see Christian Bale, William Farrell, Liam Neeson. Now the unique part which we want to see is the correlation ID which I propagated out. So here you can see the Mule generated a Mule correlation ID which is used for identifying the message. So I have 2974. I'm just taking the last four digit 29S7F. Same for Christian Bale. 29 same for Liam Neeson. 2974 same for Willem Dafoe. And if you see the response which the VM has taken the message, you can see the same thing, 297F, 297F, 297F. So we know that for my first request, 297F, the correlation ID ending with 297F is the correlation ID for all the splitted message. Now let's see what might be if I'm sending a same request. Will it be the same scenario happening, or will it be the same correlation ID generating? Let's see. I'm going to send the request once again. Yep, that's sent. Now if you see here, again the request is in, and if you see here, the first series, the earlier message has got 334EAC0, whereas here it is 7EDA90FO. That means it is a different correlation ID. But if you see the three employees, Christian Bale, Liam Neeson and William Farrell, has got the same correlation ID. That means even though for the first request and second request correlation ID are different, within the splitted message the correlation ID remains the same. That means I'll be able to track the splitted message in the further flow or in a separate flow for my aggregation or any other processing. Hope I make this particular session pretty much useful. Please let me know your comments on this particular tutorial. Thank you.